Hello students, welcome back to Tuition Masters, and today we are here with another session for grade 10 sample paper solving, that is for social studies. So as you all know, for each and every subject CBSE has uploaded it. So I had even discussed you guys the maths paper, also the section 1, but in today's session we're going to complete the whole uh, uh, social science. I'm not going to waste time in doing session 1, session 2 and all those things. All the questions will complete it today itself in one shot. All right, so basically before going ahead, let me tell you this is for your board exam preparations. Okay, so before starting, let's see the paper pattern. All right, now here you see again, this social science also has six sections: A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, in total 37 questions. Section A consists of 20 questions. Okay, MCQs, all of them. Then 21 to 24, very short answer questions, 2 marks each. Then 25 to 29, they are short answer, 3 marks each. Then section number D has a 30 to 33 question, that is 5 marks each, means you have to write long answers. After that, we have E and F. Now in section E, there will be 3 case studies given, okay, and then questions based on them. All right, and then for section F, we have the map work. Okay, map work from one will be from geography, one will be from history. Okay, so in the question paper, in various subjective parts, there is options given to you. You can choose either this question or that question. So we are going to do both of them, so don't worry. So all the questions necessary, and let's start the paper. So we are starting with section A. Okay, section A we are starting. That is, first question: what helped in the colonization of the Asian and African countries? Identify the correct statement. Now we have to write the colonization. When the colonization occurred in both the places of Asia and as well as Africa, what can we say that which is the correct thing among these statements? Intergovernmental policies for the expansion of trade, governmental invite to mother countries for expansion, technology investment and improvement in transport, or capitalists of these regions wanted to trade with colonial powers. Now, we have to choose such a statement which helped in colonization. Okay, when the colonization take place, so what helped? So what should be the correct answer? For expansion of trading, it's not necessary. Neither for the government and for mother countries for more expansion. So the suitable answer is option number C, that is technology, investments and improvement in transportation. So from Asia to Africa, taking the simple route, what happened to increase the transportation, more and more technology and investment in businesses would be the best thing for the colonization, isn't it? Next question, a very straightforward question: which of the following newspaper started by Bal Gangadhar Tilak? You have already studied this in your nationalism chapter. Okay, even you have studied it in grade 8 also, isn't it? That is nothing but Kesari. So Kesari was the newspaper started by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Okay, direct question. Okay, now here one image is given. Look at the picture and identify the name of the painter of this painting from the options. So there is a painting given, we have to see. You can see there's two women, all right, and one merchant or someone, it looks like. So if you have seen it in your books carefully, in your history, in the paint culture and painting wala chapter, so you'll understand that this is written by, sorry, this is drawn by Raja Ravi Verma. Okay, so one more thing, student, the PDF of this I'll upload it very soon in the description box. As soon as this video gets over, I'll try to upload it, and make sure you check it out for your revisions. Okay, so yes, this was drawn by Ravi Verma. Next one, arrange the following in chronological order. Chronological as in one by one format. Okay, so first one, print culture was created the conditions for the French Revolution. Martin Luther's writings led to the beginning of Protestant Reformation. Menocchio reinterpreted a message of the Bible. And fourth one is John Gutenberg invented printing press. So it's all from your art print wala chapter, right? So we have to go one by one. So first one, before anything to happen, we need the main office, right? The printing press is the first thing. So this is my first one. Okay, this is first. This is my first one. First part. So we'll write over here fourth. Fourth is first one. Okay, first the printing press was invented by Johann Gutenberg, isn't it? After that, what happened was the when the printing press was invented, Martin Luther had done the writing and began the protests and all. So second, okay. Next, after he had done that, Menocchio, with the printing press and the reformations which were done, Menocchio was reinterpreting, means translating the messages given in the Bible. So third one, and the last one is the first one, that is print culture created the conditions for the French Revolution. So which is matching 14231 14231. Yes, so option D is the right answer. All right, now look over here. Next question. Identify the crop with the help of the following information. So there is few information given. Let's read it. It is used both as food also and fodder also. Food as in it is a food for humans. Okay, and it's a fodder for animals. Okay, that's one thing given. Okay, now look over here. Let's cancel out the options. Okay, let's cancel out. Wheat sometimes it's used as a fodder. Maize is also used. Rice is never used as a fodder for animals. Not even sugarcane. So two options are directly gone. Fodder they are not used. They are gone. Next question. It is a kharif crop which requires a temperature in 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degree. Okay. It grows well in old alluvial soil. All right. And use of modern inputs have contributed to the increasing production of this crop. So you can easily understand the answer is B, maize. Maize will be the correct answer. Why? Because the options as given, the wheat, maize is a very suitable answer, isn't it? Okay, let's move to the next one. Which of the following descriptions of forest is not correct? So we have some forest given: reserved, protected, unclassed, and permanent. Okay, these are the forests given. C. Reserve forest, reservation of more than half of forest. Yes, that's correct. Because okay, we have to find not correct. No, okay, wrong one we have to find. So yes, reserve forest means it reserves us like almost quarter or half of the forest, isn't it? And there are no practices of human interference allowed, isn't it? Protected forest, reservation of one third of forest. Yes, that's correct. Unclassed forest, reservation of forest under government and private individuals. Yes, unclassed as in it is taken by control under the government, or some private individuals come and they own the forest. Okay. Last one is only left, right? So that would be the answer, but let's read it. Permanent forest, reserved and unclassed forest for the production of timber. No, that's the wrong answer. Permanent forests are never used for production of timber or anything like that, isn't it? Okay, match the following. Let's do it. Renewable resources. Okay, we have resources and their examples given. So what we'll do, we will match them directly. Okay, let's see. So we have A, B, C, and D. Okay, A, first one. Renewable resource. Which one is a renewable resource which we can renew automatically? So obviously, forests and wildlife are renewable, isn't it? Next be non-renewable resources. Non-renewable which takes long time to do. That is obviously my fourth one, minerals and fossil fuels. They take very long time. Easy. It's directly from my first chapter, resources and development. National resources which are controlled by the government in the nation and they can use it, isn't it? So that's obviously roads, canals, and railway. That's every country has their own roads and canal. Now for taking something from India to not India, like Gujarat or Maharashtra, you won't take some other country's roads, right? Obviously, you'll take the same road. National resources, because road, canal, railway, uh, it's present in every country and they have their own things, isn't it? And the last one left is international, that is oceanic resources, because ocean it can be connected with various countries. So yes, there will be international relationship also through oceanic routes. So that's why the correct answer is 1432. That's the answer. Let's check which one is matching. Yeah, so A is the correct answer, isn't it? A is correct. Let's see our next question. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding power sharing arrangements in Belgium and identify the incorrect one. So they have given us few statements regarding power sharing in Belgium and we have to identify the incorrect one. Okay, so let's see. First one is equal number of members from Dutch and French community in the central government. Yes, that's correct. They were equally numbered. Separate government. We have to write wrong one. Na incorrect. Okay, fine. Separate government for Brussels with equal representation of communities. Yes, for Brussels and all that is correct. Okay. Next, C. The state government to be subordinate to the central government. No, that's wrong. That's the wrong statement. I mean, that's the correct statement. The answer is C. The answer is C because the state government is not the subordinate, isn't it? The lower government, central and state, they work together, isn't it? And community government elected by the people to belong to only to one language community. Community government, that means it's happening in the community, right? Whatever language is used over there. So here's the correct answer is C over here. I mean, that's wrong and that's correct. Wrong as in the statement, correct for the answer. Next one. Which of the following subjects come under legislation of center and state in India? Legislature of center and state in India. The answer, direct answer, it is education. Education is the only thing which will come in the legislation of center and the state. Only they are very, because they are only the one which can education proper. Then only human resources can be formed, isn't it? Human resources will be formed when the education is proper. All right, let's see next one. Which are the following statements true regarding feminist movements? The women's which like the movements took place for the rights of women, right? So let's see. A group which favors giving more power to working men or women at rural and urban level. So we have to find the true one, isn't it? So a group which favors more power to working men and rural women. Not more power. That's not power. Basically, we should have said it is like more salary and equal level. So I don't think that's correct. No, that's wrong. That is wrong statement. Next, a movement that believes in giving exclusive rights to females in urban areas. Not only urban, it's even in rural areas. So that's also wrong. Radical women's movements aimed at equality in personal and family life as well. Yes, that's correct. Radical women's movements, which was taken, it was only the main thing was equality in personal and as well as family life. So to make the equality, yes, that's the correct answer. Let's see D also. It is a practice of placing a feminine and masculine point of view in decision. No, that's not a thing. That's just decision making. You're taking the point of view of both males and females, but that's not correct. So C is the right answer of feminist movements. Again, we have match the following. Okay, no, we have to choose which one is the correctly matched one. Okay, we have to find correctly matched. Bharatiya Janata Party, National Democratic Alliance. Yeah, that's correct. The first answer is correct. Okay, let's see. Congress Party, Left Front. No, that's not correct. Communist Party is the regional party. No. Mizo National Front, United Progressive Alliance. No, that's wrong. So, what will be the correct answer? The answer will be A. So yes, let's continue. So next question is assertion reason based question. We have to two statements are given. You have to tell both of them are correct or wrong, and if they both are correct, is it R is the correct explanation or not? So let's read it. So assertion says democracy is an accountable, responsive, and legitimate government. So yes, that's a true statement. Democracy is the only one which has accountable, it's responsible for everything happening in the countries, and that's correct. Reason, democracy have regular free and fair elections and decision making is based on norms and procedures, so that is also true. Now we have to find out if R is the explanation. Now democracy is having free and fair elections, decision making is based on the proper regulations and rules, and that is why only it is known as accountable, responsible, and legitimate, isn't it? So obviously the answer is A. They both are true and R is the correct explanation. Okay, next question. Which of the following religions was protected and fostered by Sri Lankans in their constitution? So again, a straightforward question. In Sri Lanka, majority and the one which is protected and fostered in the constitution is Buddhism. Okay, direct answer. Now, Next is we have a data given over here, and we have to find out the children of which state has attained maximum elementary school education. Okay, that there's a table given. I have to find out which the children in which state, Haryana, Kerala, or Bihar, they have got highest education. Okay, highest education. What was it? Wait. Uh, Highest attained maximum elementary school education. Okay, elementary school education highest is where? So look over here. In Haryana, per capita income was 2,36,147. Infant mortality means children under the age of 1 or 2 have died, isn't it? So that was 30. No, that literal infant mortality doesn't even matters over here, isn't it? We're talking about what? We're talking about the elementary school education, isn't it? Now, literacy rate 82 in Haryana, 94 in Kerala, and 62 in Bihar. Okay, and net attendance ratio per 100% secondary stage. So, per 100% in the secondary level, how many has got the attendance regularity? So, it's 61 here, 83, and 43. So, everywhere, what we can observe is apart from per capita, Kerala is the country where literacy rate is the highest, along with attendance also highest, and infant mortality is also less, isn't it? So Kerala will be my right answer. That D, right? Yeah, Kerala will be the right answer, where the students have got the highest achievement, not achievement, what was it, education, isn't it? Elementary. Now, next again we have a table. We have to select the appropriate option from the following. Okay. So this is a something given literacy rate for rural population. Male 76%, female 54%. Literacy rate for rural children 10 to 14. 90% in male, 87 in female. Percentage of rural children in 10 to 14 years. 85% in male and 82% in females. So, what will be the answer over here? Question is, okay, how much percentage of girls are not attending school? Okay, how much percentage of girls are not attending school? So, we are talking about attendance of school over here. Female are 82%. Okay, simple mathematics. 100% will be the full. Okay, 82% are attending it, correct. How much is remaining? How much is remaining? Only 18% is remaining who are not coming to school, who are not attending it. So simple mathematics, what will be the answer will be 18%. They are not attending the school. Okay, now look over here. You have to find the odd one out here. So first one, tourist guide, barber, tailor, potter. I guess it's based on what, primary or something. Okay. Teacher, doctor, vegetable vendor, and lawyer. Postman, cobbler, soldier, police constable, and Indian Railways, Jet Airways, Doordarshan, and Metro. Okay, wait. The last one, obviously, the Doordarshan, it's a TV show, it was, or is it's a TV show, isn't it? News and all. Indian Railways, Jet Airways, Metro, all of these are for transportation, isn't it? All of these are for transport. But how does Doordarshan come in transportation, isn't it? The answer is D here. Okay, that's the odd one out. Okay. Next one, fill in the blank. Sector and criteria use. Sector, primary, secondary, tertiary. Nature of economic activity. Alright, that's the nature. Organize and unorganized sector. What do we mean by that? So see, primary, secondary, tertiary means what is the nature of the economic activity, like you're selling, giving services, manufacturing or something. That is it, isn't it? But organized and unorganized refers to what, how are the people employed properly? Isn't the employment is the main condition over here, isn't it? Employment is the main condition where organized and unorganized sectors can come. So nature of employment activities will be the right answer. Okay, next one. Read the information given below. We have a table. No, we have a few lines. Let's read it. Rohan has to take a loan of rupees 5 lakhs from the bank to purchase a house on 12% rate of interest. Okay, 5 lakh house he wants to take. loan is 12% rate of interest. Okay, he has to submit papers of the new house and salary record to the bank. What is this called? Obviously, that's known as the collateral. Collateral is nothing but when you're taking a large loan for bank or for house or something. How do the bank know that you're taking a house or you're running away with the money? So that's why they take as your new house papers, the papers of a house. It's taken as a collateral, isn't it? Taken as a collateral that when you do it, we will give you back the papers, isn't it? All right, let's see ahead. So, collateral is the answer. Next one. Which of the following international agencies allow free trade and work on mutual a mutual trade? So, what we have to do is that we have to understand. Firstly, it should be international. Okay, it should be international, and we have to tell which allow free trades, no charges or all, and work on mutual trade. So, what is that? That is nothing but my world trade organization, isn't it? It does mutual trading, isn't it? Mutual trading, as well as no charges are required on it. So obviously WTO will be my right answer. Simple. Let's see our next question, question number 20. Identify correct statements about globalization. So few statements again we have to identify which is correct for globalization. That's the last question for our MCQs. So removal of barriers by the government. Remove of barriers, yes. Barriers removed, so we will get more globalist, isn't it? Next, foreign companies are allowed to set up factories in our country. Yes, it's globalization, right? If some foreign countries come and establish our country, so ideas get shared, isn't it? So yes, that's also correct. So I guess only two options you can choose. Right? Yeah, so one and two will be correct then. Okay, so A is the right answer. Let's move towards our long answers now. Okay, short answers. Analyze two factors that were responsible for Great Depression in America during 1929. So we have to tell any such two factors. I have written here four factors. You can remember any of it, write it, because it's 2 marks only. So you can remember any two out of these and answer it. Okay. So look over here. uh, Great Depression. First of all, agriculture overproduction remained a progress made by falling agriculture prices. Agriculture prices were decreased and there were overproduction was a problem. Correct. As prices slumped and agriculture incomes were declined, farmers tried to expand their production and bring larger volume of produce to the market, but it pushed down the rates. So what happened was the income which came from the farming and all, it was declining, isn't it? It was declining, and farmers, they tried to expand their production, they started to grow much things, but it was pushing the rates more down. In the mid 1920s, what happened was the countries financed their investment through loans from the United States, and it was extremely easy to raise loans in United States, and it was going good. So when the talks and relations were good, so we could easily take loans from there, and loans were taken at proper interest. But what happened was, in the first half of 1928, the countries that depended crucially on US loan faced an acute crisis. Now there was acute crisis, they couldn't pay the loan back. So due to not paying the loan, what happened? There was the Great Depression. Okay, next question. Mention the provisions that constitute India into a secular country. Secular as in no specific religion. It's based upon what religion? No specific religion is taken in consideration, right? So what will be the answer? There is no official religion. Why is it India's why secular? Because there's no official religion. It's not like no Hinduism or Buddhism. That is only the main official religion. There's no official religion for India. And the constitution also did not give any specific, like it's not like if you're a Hindu you will have more features, right? Or if you are a Muslim you will get less features or more features. Nothing happened like that. So that is why India is secular. Secondly, Constitution, our Indian Constitution is providing all individuals and communities freedom to profess, practice, propagate any religion or not to follow any. In India, no one forces you. There is no forcing that no, you have to follow this religion, you have to do this, you have to do no. If you follow any religion, it's fine. If you do not want to follow any religion, that's also fine. Correct. And constitution prohibits discrimination on ground of religion. Discriminating people of the minority religion is also a bad thing, and it's prohibited by the constitution. Next one is, suggest any two ways to conserve energy resource. This is an alternative question. We have or also, so we're going to do both of them. First one is, any two ways to conserve energy resources. Energy from where we get, like solar energy, wind energy, water energy. How can I reserve them, conserve? So energy conservation, increased use of renewable energy resources. Okay, so for, if you want to promote more and more conservation, we have to use the renewable energies. Now, have to adopt a conscious approach for the judicious use of a limited energy resources. Now, energy resources are limited, right? So we have to use it very judiciously, properly. Use of public transport systems instead of individual vehicles. Individual vehicles, more problems will be there, and that even and more pollution. So instead of use public transport like the bus, metros, railways, isn't it? Electricity should be switched off when we are not using, because electricity is again energy only, so we cannot waste it, isn't it? Next question, that is not the next question, it's the continuation of 23. It's a or when you can do any of it. Suggest any two ways to improve the usage of solar energy. Solar energy as in refers to the sunlight and the solar panels, isn't it? Solar panels. Okay, let's see what we can do. We can reduce the cost of solar panels. If the solar panel cost is reduced, people will start to install use solar energy more and more, isn't it? Then use of efficient solar panel models. We can use such ways such that such solar panels should be created where no energy is wasted, no sunlight energy is wasted, and we can easily access them. Correct. And rising awareness about importance of renewable energy. Solar energy is renewable, so we should aware that how important it is for we using renewable energy, isn't it? And there should be easy installation process. Right now, if you take not there should be technical people and everything should be there, but we should do it in a easy process so that anyone can do, isn't it? Question number 24. In what ways can the government increase employment in rural sector? Rural sector in your villages, how can government increase the employment? That's the question. So see, we can introduce mega projects, new dam is constructed, canals are being constructed. So what happens, as a labor work, what can do, the rural people can come and join them, isn't it? Now, by introducing tertiary facilities in an area, tertiary facilities as in those services, providing services and all that thing should be introduced. Also, to identify, promote, and locate industries and services in semi-rural areas. Also, there should be more and more little bit industry so that people can go and work over there. Now, it is even possible to set up industry that process vegetables, agriculture producing like potato, sweet potato. These things are being produced. Right? That can also be done, isn't it? Okay. Now, section C. Short answer based questions. How was the social and political situation of India affected by the First World War? First World War, how was the situation of India? So the war created new economic and political situation. There was differences between the countries. Now, it led to huge increase in defense expenditure and financed by war loans and increasing taxes also of custom duties and income tax was introduced. So what happened was, due to being protected and being for defensing, the defense money was very high, which was financed by war loan, and that also had to pay taxes. Hence, income tax was introduced. Now, through the warriors, prices increased and they doubled between 1913 and 1918, which led to extreme hardship for the common people. For the common people, it became very difficult to uh, you know, do all this work, isn't it? Now, villages were called upon to supply soldiers and forced recruitment in rural areas, which caused widespread anger. Now, villages were called upon to okay, be soldiers and do all that, and that was you know, uh, anger situation. Now, crops also failed in many parts of India. Right, there was a food famine. Correct. You can say kind of food famine was there, the food shortage. Then it was even accompanied by influenza epidemic. Influenza was complete. Many people died out of that. So there were many problems. All the problems came together during the First World War. Now there's a or question. You can write one more answer to this other answer if you feel that's difficult. So, how did the Indian merchants and industrialists relate themselves to the civil disobedience movement? So, how was the reaction of merchants and industrialists to civil disobedience? So, merchants and industrialists were keen on expanding the business, they wanted more and more profits. So, against this colonial policy that restricted business activities, they were reacting. Okay, so they wanted that there should be business activities between Indians and British so that they can get more and more profits. Correct. And they wanted protection against imports of foreign goods and rupee sterling foreign exchange ratio that would discourage imports. So what they wanted was that give us proper exchanging ratio and even protection for foreign goods. Now for organizing such business interests, they found the Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress. Okay, IICC, you can remember that way, Industrial Commercial Congress in 1920 they found, and the Federation of the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries, FICCI, in 1927. These two things are formed to protect the foreign exchanges. Now that led to prominent industries like Purushottam Das, Thakur Das, and G.D. Birla. Okay, it helped these people to grow more, and the industrialists attacked at colonial control over the Indian economy and supported the disobedience movement. And finally, they gave financial assistance and refused to buy or sell imported goods. Even the businessmen wanted to flourish trade without any constraints and restrictions. All right, that's the answer. Next question is examine the factors that influence the distribution pattern of the railway work in network in India. So I have to tell about the influence. So first one, physical and economical factors, they have influenced the distribution pattern of the Indian railways network in following ways. How? First one, northern plains, peninsular region, and desert of Rajasthan. So talking about northern plains, the northern plains, the level land, okay, the how high it is, then the population density, rich agricultural resources have favored the development of railways, isn't it? However, a large number of rivers even require consider of bridges and dams to easy uh, passaging. That's one of the railway pattern. Then in peninsular region and Himalayan region, it is hilly, so the railway tracks can be laid on through low hills, gaps, or tunnels. If this is my mountain, through this tunnel the uh, tracks can be kept, and but it is very difficult to lay the railway lines, right? It's difficult. So the Himalayan mountainous regions too are not favorable. I cannot use it on Himalayas. No, the train will fall down. What will happen, isn't it? Now deserts or Rajasthan, desert of Rajasthan, what happens there? The sandy plain of western Rajasthan too, it is very difficult to rail anywhere because it is not hindered, the place is not proper, isn't it? That's not proper. Do you know desert? How can you put the railway tracks and start the train? So that's again a problem. Moving to the next question, question number 27. All right, let's see it. So, let's see. In what ways does multinational corporations, MNC, they differ from other companies? So we have to explain with an example. So multinational companies, MNC, how are they different? We have to do differentiation. So here you see, domestic companies which are local, they restrict their operation to the country of origin, while multinational corporations operate in more than two countries. For example, Infosys, right? And there are many other countries which are international also, they are cooperating operating in more than two countries as well, whereas domestic companies only are in India or in specific country, right? Now let's say companies like Infosys, they expand globally for reasons like for new and new ideas, to obtain markets, cheaper resources, and reduction in operational cost also, and all of which is significantly affect the financial management. So if you are getting from one place, let's say A, you're getting the cost of things at let's say 1 lakh rupees, but on the other hand you are get let's say 10 lakh. Okay, no, yeah, let's say 10 lakh. But on the other place, beyond the other country, we are getting the same goods at the cost of 5 lakhs. So you have a profit of 5 lakhs. So obviously you'll even start a company in B, right? It will take time, but the cost will be less. So that's also the benefits, right? And it increases the risk faced by multinational corporations. Okay, it also increases the risk also, but it's risk, it's worth risk. Now, multinationals like Infosys, as I said, they financially management differs from domestic financial management in six essential ways. There are very different ways in which the domestic financial and multinational financial is different from each other. Unlike domestic financial management counterparts, multinationals are subject to exchange rates that differ based on the prevailing inflation rate in the foreign countries. So now, domestic countries in India only, but some countries are in US also. So they have to coordinate with the current rates which are going on, and hence that's difficult. Next question is differentiation, democratic and non-democratic government. This is easy, correct? So democracy, we know best form of government. Rulers are accountable to people to fulfill their needs, whatever they want. In non-democratic government like dictatorship or monarchy, the rulers are not accountable. They are not responsible. We will do what we want. You do whatever you want. That way, okay. So in democratic government, people elect their rulers through the process of what everyone know elections, isn't it? And right in decision making. Decision making is the main thing of democracy, isn't it? But in non-democratic, there is no election, nothing. We will come up, become the king and queen and go, isn't it? The parliament is a separate body and has no interference of army. Okay, parliament is a supreme, head body of the democracy. But non-democratic government, parliament cannot pass a law without the army and the consent of the chief army. Okay, so anything about the army cannot be gone with the parliament through the chief army. So there are the basic three differences, isn't it? 3 mark questions, so I give three differences. Next one is tertiary sector is different from other sectors. Justify the statement with suitable arguments. Tertiary always refers to one thing, that is services, isn't it? So tertiary is nothing but a service sector, but primary is for producing the goods, secondary is converting the goods, isn't it? Tertiary sector supports and help in development of this. So these two are interconnected and more efficiently done by the tertiary sector. Now, tertiary, let's say marketing. Primary sector, you are taking the metals. Secondary, you even made the machine. Now, who is going to sell it? For selling, tertiary comes. So, tertiary is, the support of primary and secondary both. Tertiary activities are an assistance for the production process, right? For example, transportation, banking, communication, all of these are examples of my tertiary activities, isn't it? 1 minute, let me zoom it out. Huh. All right, now next one is long answer questions. Okay, first one, highlight the various measures and practices that French revolutionaries introduced to create a sense of collective identity amongst the French people. So you have to take to make a kind of unity. Okay, collective identity as in make a kind of unity among the French people. What were the steps taken? Okay, so first one, the two ideas enter la patrie and la citoyen, that means the fatherland and the citizens, that emphasize the notion of united community which enjoys equal rights under a proper constitution. Then there was a new French flag introduced, the tricolor, and was chosen to replace the former royal standard. So apart from that royal family wala kingdom, they choose the tricolored flag. Okay. Now, the Estate General was the elected body of the active citizen and renamed the National Assembly. Convention and the National Assembly, isn't it? The third estate people did that. Huh? Then, new hymns were composed, oaths taken, and martyrs were commemorated. So, hymns, oaths, vows, all of these things were considered the martyrs who were, not there anymore. And right, they were commemorated, right, taken, right, they were memorized. A centralized administrative system was put in place and it formulated uniform laws for all citizens within its territory. So, inside the territory, for doing all the laws should be equal for each and every citizen, not like first estate, clergy, nobility, that all that was not introduced. Internal custom duties and dues were abolished and uniform system of weights was also adopted. Weights and all, Napoleon was there, isn't it? Napoleon helped it, isn't it? So that was the basic thing, isn't it? So for that, what happened was the system of weights and all was introduced. Now you can, instead of this, you can write one more answer or question. Highlight the role of Otto von Bismarck in making of Germany, the unification of Germany. How was the role of Otto von Bismarck? So in Prussia, there was a leadership of the movement for the national unification. National unification took place in Prussia. The chief minister of Prussia was Otto von Bismarck, and he and was the architect of this process carried out with the help of Prussian army and bureaucracy. So, with the help of bureau and the Prussian army, the making of Germany was there. Three wars over 7 years. There were three wars taken place over duration of 7 years. Austria, Denmark, and France, which ended in Prussian victory, and it completed the process of unification of Germany. Similarly, in January 1871, the Prussian king William I, he was proclaimed as the German emperor, and the ceremony for the same was held at Versailles. Now, on January 1871, assembly comprising the princes of the German states, representatives of the army, and such important Prussian ministers like Chief Minister Otto von Bismarck, they gathered in the place known as Hall of Mirrors, which was in the Palace of Versailles, to proclaim the new German headed by Kaiser Wilhelm I from Prussia. Okay, so that was the role. Now, next one is from your geography. Manufacturing sector is considered as the backbone of the general and economic activities. Why? So we have to explain it with context of India. So what is it? Why is the manufacturing known as the backbone? Now, production of goods in large quantities, processing them from raw materials to finished goods are known as manufacturing. That we know. Why is it considered backbone? Is it not only helps in modernizing agriculture, but it even becomes the backbone of the economy. That's not for modernizing agriculture, but it even is a main thing for the economical activity. Industrial development is a precondition for an eradication of unemployment and poverty from our country. Industrial development, more and more industries will grow, so the unemployed people can go and work there at any level, right? So poverty and unemployment will be eradicated. Export of manufactured goods expand trades and commerce. Trading from one place to another, sharing of ideas, that also happens when manufactured goods are expanded. Countries that transform their raw material into wide variety of finished goods of higher are prosperous. Countries, they have raw material, they convert it to finished goods, right? So those countries are known as developed countries. Correct. Developed countries which have proper manufacturing and all, isn't it? So next question, let's see. Examine the multi-pronged aspects of the information technology and electronics industry. So let's see the answer. So let's continue with the answer, right? So here you see, when we talk about the information IT and the electronic industry, you have to talk about the aspects, multi-pronged aspects. So electronic industry, they cover a wide range of products from transistor, right? And it sells to the television, cellular, telecom, pagers, telephone exchange, radars, computer, and many other equipment and technological industries. Now here you see, right now you're attending the session of watching, and how you're watching in your laptop or on your phone or your PC, isn't it? What is that nothing but the IT. It's all related to IT. You can connect it with your telephones, television, pages, if you have ever seen it, isn't it? Now when I talk about India, the main Indian IT industry is located in Bangalore, right? Bangalore, Hyderabad, and such, metro cities. Bangalore, as I said, it has emerged as the electronic capital of India. Electronic capital of India is known as Bangalore because Bangalore has the highest number of IT offices and all, isn't it? There are many other electronic centers also for like Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Pune, Chennai, Kolkata, Lucknow, and Coimbatore. All of these places are also good places for electronics. Now, 18 software technological parks, they provide single window service and high data communication facility to software experts. So there are many companies, right? They provide a single window service and high data commission. Like, for communicating, there are so many, right? There are Geo, Airtel, and there are so many kind of phone items which you can use for, calling and communication. There are so many offers, we get the free data and all. That's all related due to our softwares, isn't it? Now, a major impact of this industry has been employment generation. So employment generation, people are getting more and more educated and employed and are working in the IT sectors of the world, isn't it? It is encouraging to know that 30% of the people employed in this sector are women. So it's not that only men are doing this work. No, there are 30% of the total workforce. Out of that 30% are women. They are also working for IT. So this industry, it's a very good and major foreign exchange earner in the last 2 or 3 years because it is very fast growing BPO sector, that is business processes outsourcing sector, isn't it? So that's why IT and electronic sectors are the one through which we can connect from other country. Foreign also, and foreign exchanges are done super easily, isn't it? So, next one, describe the role of political parties in India. In elections, we have our political parties. What are they? Basic thing, political parties, when I talk about, first thing will come in your mind is elections. Correct. In election, there is not only one or two. There are many people, right? Okay, let's understand this question by the help of a example. Now, let's say your teacher asks you in your school that who wants to become the monitor of the class, who wants to become the monitor. Okay, give your names. So whoever students are giving the names, they are the parties. Okay, and they're contesting the elections, as in they are standing up for the what we can say, for becoming the monitor. Now what will happen? Parties put forward different policies and program, and the voters choose from them. So what will you do? If you want to become, you will say that I will be, if I become the monitor, I will do these things. Whatever you guys want, I'll help you in that. I will reduce the homework. Such things you will say, isn't it? Campaigning you will do. Similarly, the political parties also, they also say their policies and programs which they will execute if they win the elections. Now, third, parties play a decisive role in making laws for a country. So you will say that apart from that, you will say to the teachers also that I will maintain rules and regulation. No one will run here, and no beating, no bullying will happen. I will make sure of that. So in the same way, parties, the political parties also say that the laws and rules which we will make will always be for the betterment of the country, isn't it? Next one, the parties form and run the governments. Then once the elections are done, who people, the remaining students and the population of the country, they will select whoever gives the very accurate and who is more trustworthy. To them, the people will give the vote, isn't it? And they form the majority party, right? So those parties that lose in the elections play the role of opposition to the parties in power by voicing different views and criticizing the government for its failures or wrong policies. And parties, they shape a public opinion. Now this is also fourth, fifth point, you can understand it very easily. If for example, Rohan becomes the monitor, there are few other students also who stood up for the monitor job, isn't it? So they will become the opposition, right? What will do? They will criticize, they will point out the mistakes. Okay, they'll point out the mistakes here, that no, what are you doing, that is wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're not doing your work. They will do the opposition. So similarly, in the government also, the parties who lose in the election become the opposition party. All right. Now we have one more alternate question. You can write this one also, that one, anyone you want. So describe the necessity or utility of political parties in democratic countries. In democratic countries, what is the meaning, what is the objective of having political parties? So first of all, elected representatives will be accountable to their constituency for what they do in the locality. Correct? If you are the leader, whatever happens in the class, anything good or anything bad, you will be responsible for that because you have taken the job of doing it, isn't it? The rise of political parties directly linked to the emergence of representative democracies, where people are choosing their representative and then the democracies are occurring, isn't it? Large scale societies need representative democracy. So imagine a class where imagine the teacher is choosing one student that you will be the monitor, but on the other hand, that student may be bad, right? But on the other hand, if on the other class the teacher is telling the students to vote, so that is more better. Similarly, in the world also, every country needs representative democracy. So when societies become large and complex, they also need some agencies to gather views on various issues to present. Correct? So if you have any problem, if the teacher is not there, you can go and say to the monitor and the monitor will convey to the teacher. So similarly, we have the representatives who can present this to the government, right? So they need some way to bring various representatives together so that a responsible government can be made up. And they need a mechanism to support or restrain the government, make policies, and justify or oppose them. Right? So they need a proper working system so that they can restrain or support the government from making the policies, or if the policies are wrong, they can say that no, you're doing it wrong, please do it this way, right? And political parties, they fulfill all the needs which every representative government has. Correct? And we can say that they are very necessary for a democracy. All right, so that's our answer 32. Now let's check our next question 33. Explain the role of self-help groups in a rural society. Now what are self-help groups? You have to explain their role. So when I talk about SHGs, the idea of is to organize rural poor, in particular women also, into SHG groups, right? Sorry, HSGs, that is, and collect their savings. What happens is the self-help group means that whatever saving there, how much ever, it's not that you have to bring too much and all. No, how much ever you have, like from 25 to 100 rupees, you can bring that. Okay, and all the all there are, like in rural areas, particularly more of women, they join their money together. Okay, they join their money together and try to make people more independent, isn't it? That is what the main function of SHGs are, isn't it? Members can take small loans from group itself to meet their need. If I've given the money but urgently I want some money, so from that group only I'll say that please give me a loan, I want it urgently. Correct? And then the group will charge interest, but it will be very less than those from the money lender. Okay, if you want to take, let's say, 1,000 rupees, okay, fine, in return you have to give me 1,200. But if you go to a money lender, he may say give me 2,000. All right, so that is the rule. And even after 1 year or 2 years, after a specific duration, if the group is regular in savings, it becomes eligible for availing loan from the bank also. So if the regular savings are proper, interest are paid properly, no cheating and all, so then they can even apply for taking loans from the bank directly. Okay, so that is a major role of the self-help groups. Now we have a or question. Explain the significance of the Reserve Bank of India in the Indian economy. Why? What role does RBI play in Indian economy? So first one, it supervises the functioning of formal sources of loan, isn't it? It will specify the formal sources, isn't it? And what else is that the banks will maintain a minimum cash balance out of the deposits they receive. How much this deposit, as in the people, how much they are giving the money in the banks, right? So they will maintain a minimum cash balance from that. Now the monitors of the Reserve Bank of India, that the banks actually maintain the cash balance. So there are monitors who will maintain how much are taken, how much are given. Right now, the RBI sees that the banks give loans not just to profit making businesses and traders, but also to small cultivators and small scale industries also. So it's not that RBI will say, oh no, I will only give to those who have a good business, they're earning profits, only to them. No, they even give it to small people like farmers who are in urgent need, or small scale industries also. Reserve Bank of India is giving. But it's important that you submit proper information, correct, of fear, no cheating or fraud, and proper rate of interest to be paid. Right? So that is what the main significance of RBI is. Let's move to the section E. Section E is based on case study. You will have three case studies over here. In all of them, there are three questions. So let's quickly do, and we have map work, and we are completed with this sample paper. All right. So let's see the case based questions. So I'll quickly read out this. I'll quickly read it. Okay. So Will Throne is one of those who went in search of seasonal work, loading breaks, and doing odd jobs. He describes how job seeker walked to London in search of work. So basically, this is written by as Will Throne. Yeah. So he's telling how did what happened in London for job seekers. How? So I had always wanted to go to London, and my desire was stimulated by letters from an old workmate who was now working at the old Kent Road Gas Works. I finally decided to go in November 1881. With two friends, I started out to walk the journey, filled with hope that we would be able to obtain employment when we got there. With kind assistance of my friend, we had little money when we started, not enough to pay for our food and lodgings each night until we arrived in London. Some days we walked as much as 20 miles and other days less. Our money was gone at the end of the third day. For 2 nights we slept out, once under a haystack and once in an old farm shed. On arrival in London, we tried to find my friend, but were unsuccessful. Our money was gone, so there was nothing for us to do but to walk around until late at night and then try to find some place to sleep. We found an old building and slept in it at night. The next day, Sunday, late in the afternoon, we got to the old Ken gas works and applied for work. To my great surprise, the man we had been looking for was working at the time. He spoke to the foreman, and I was given a job. So, what do you understand from this? The main thing is, although London is well known for its places as well as the jobs and everything, but still, when people are going suddenly there, it's not easy to get a job. You can understand how Will Throne was suffering, isn't it? Right, with along with his friends also. So that's what all this paragraph is about, the case study. Let's see the questions. Analyze the major factor which led London to become an attractive place for job seekers. Now, if you have studied properly in your socialism in Europe, you have studied in the London, the first was done for the Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution was firstly taken place in the place of London. Because Industrial Revolution, Britain, London, isn't it? So due to Industrial Revolution and availability of job opportunities in factories in of London, most people go for job seeking there. Analyze the reason for appointment of Will thrown by the old Kent gas workers. Now, when I talk about gas workers, obviously they need like labor workers, right? They want the labor workers. So that was a seasonal industry, and they only wanted low wage workers. Like they won't give high salary, only labor work we want to do. So we'll give you that much money. So that is why Will thrown was easily applied over there. If there will be someone else asking for more money, they won't apply. Next question. Examine the preference of hand labor over machines by the industrialist of Victorian Britain. So, what happens is machines they need huge capital. Correct? They want more and more capital. Proper things should be there. There should be sometimes electricity also. If there is some problem, they need to be repaired. Until and reparation is not done, they will not work. But talking about hand labor, it was available at low wages also, and in seasonal industries only seasonal labor was required. So that is why hand labor was more preferred. Okay, so again, as I said, very short, right? Only three questions were there. Now we are moving towards the next case study. I'll quickly read it. If you want to revise the case study, you can pause the video and read it. Okay, so let me read it fast. Narmada Bachao Andolan or Save Narmada Movement is a non-governmental organization (NGO) that mobilized tribal people, farmers, environmentalists, and human rights activists against the Sardar Sarovar Dam being built across the Narmada River in Gujarat. It originally focused on the environmental issues related to trees that would be submerged under the dam water. Recently, it has refocused the aim to enable poor citizens, especially the displaced people, to get full rehabilitation facilities from the government. So here, what we're talking about the Narmada Bachao Andolan, right? So what, where it took place, or what were the problems and all. So people felt that their suffering would be not be in vain, accepted the trauma of displacement, believing in the promise of irrigated fields and plentiful harvest. So often the survivors of Rihand told us that they accepted their sufferings as sacrifice for the sake of their nation. But now, after 30 bitter years of being adrift, their livelihood having even been more precarious, they keep asking, are we the only ones chosen to make sacrifices for the nation? So what's happening here was, the people, when the Narmada Bacha Andolan took place, there was a river to be made, the Sardar Sarovar Dam. So on that dam, not river to be made, dam to be made, and on that, what happened, if dam would be made, the people had to relocate. Okay, if this is my village, see, wait, I'll draw somewhere. See, if this is my village, okay, now river is flowing over here, now I have to build a dam, so I'll build it like this. So these houses, the people have to go somewhere else, and they're poor people, isn't it, that to go, and they were promised you'll get good fields and everything, and then but they didn't get anything for 30 years also. And then they were suffering and asking, are we the only ones who have to make sacrifices every time? All right. So let's see the questions. With what objective Sardar Sarovar Dam was made? Why Sardar? The dams are made to what? Nothing but for water conservation, isn't it? For conserving water, only dams are made. So similarly, Sardar Sarovar Dam was made to secure the power, hydropower, isn't it? To easy irrigation, and so that there is drinking water for a drought-prone area. Drought as in where there is no water, isn't it? So there in those places also water can be provided. Now, analyze the reason of protest by the tribal people. Why did the people protested? Why? Because if the dam is made, right? So what happened? The people has to move, right? They have to locomote. They have to locomote and they have to go to some other place now. So there was a huge displacement of people. People had to move from one place to another, isn't it? And what else? There is a demand of rehabilitation. Harm of harvest was also destroyed, and the livelihood was also simply going here and there finding houses. Now, what was the main issue on which Save Narmada movement worked on? The main issue, so that was against huge displacement. Highlight the issues. Okay, the issues on which it worked on, so against high displacement of the tribals which were living, environmental problems, demand for rehabilitation, and to provide tribal the source of proper livelihood. On that only Narmada Bachao Andolan was working. Okay, so we have completed the second case study also. Let's move towards the last one, then we'll go towards map work. So, power sharing arrangements can also be seen in the way political parties, pressure groups, and movements control or influence those in power. In a democracy, the citizens must have freedom to choose among various contenders for power. In contemporary democracies, this takes the form of competition among different parties. Such competition, such competition ensures that power does not remain in one hand. In the long run, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies and social groups. Sometimes this kind of sharing can be direct when two or more parties form an alliance to contest elections. If their alliance is elected, they form a coalition government and thus share the power. In a democracy, we find interest groups such as those of traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers, and industrial workers. They also will have share in the governmental power, either through participation in governmental committees or bringing influence on the decision making process. So what we're talking about here is this paragraph talk whole and whole about the power sharing. How the power sharing works in democracy, if two parties are together in an alliance, so how will the it how will it work, isn't it? So that we're talking about. Let's see the questions. First question is, power sharing is an essential component of democracy. Give an example to prove the statement. So how we can say is that, why is power sharing important? Because it will help to reduce the possibility of conflict between social groups. Correct. If there is a social group A, social group B, social group C, right? Now only and only the highest power is given to A. Power is given to A. So what will happen? B and C will get sad. They will start to revolt. But if equal power is distributed to all of them, equal power is distributed to all of them. So all of them are happy with their powers, isn't it? So main objective is to avoid conflicts, right? And power sharing is a good way to ensure the stability of political order as well. Now here, how is alliance building an example of power share? Alliance as in, signing a contract and being, friends with others. So when two or more parties make an alliance to contest elections or to form a government, it's called sharing of power, right? There are two parties, A and B. If they merge together, they make an alliance. What happen? They will do the power sharing. Equal power, 50% power to A, 50% power to B. Both of them have the rights to give their opinions, right? Alliance, it can be regional and national also, between regional or national parties, and which is again example of power sharing. And in this, political ideas will be shared. A group A will have some political ideas. They will have some ideas for, just say, let's say, agriculture, whereas B will have some ideas upon irrigation, isn't it? They will have some idea upon irrigation. So what will happen with this is, they will be able to share their ideas and do more better work. Correct. So that is why that is a more efficient way. Last question, then we're moving towards maps. How political parties, pressure groups, and movements help in controlling or influencing those who are in power. So, when I talk about political parties, pressure groups, and movements, they help in controlling the people who are in power, because if no one is controlling, no one is opposing or criticizing, they can misuse the power. So freedom of choice entails competition among the different parties, right? And such kind of competition is good, because it will ensure that the power is not in only one hand, but it is shared equally. And the power sharing is, properly followed, not violated, and all the ideologies are presented. Okay, students, so this was all about the long answer, short answers case study. Last part for your history geography, that is map skill. Okay, so there are two maps here. First one is, we have two, there are two places A and B which are marked on the map. I'll show you. And now we have to write, A is the Indian National Congress session at this place. So INC session was taken place at the place A. I'll show you. And the place where Mahatma Gandhi broke the salt law, that place. All right, so I'll show you the map here. You see, so this is the map given to you, A and B. So A is what? A is nothing but where INC Congress took place. So we know that is nothing but Calcutta, isn't it? Calcutta was the place where the uh, it was taken place, the Congress session. And where did Mahatma Gandhi broke the salt law? In Gujarat, at the place known as Dandi. Correct? The Dandi march, Mahatma Gandhi broke the salt law, isn't it? So yes, we did the answer. 2 marks you got over here. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. On the same outline of the map, locate and label any three of the following with suitable symbols. Hirakund Dam, Tarapur Atomic Power Station, and Noida Software Technology Park, and Kochi Port. Okay, so we have these places. So let's do first one. Where is Hirakud Dam located? It's located in Odisha. Correct? It's located in Odisha. Tarapur Atomic Station, Maharashtra. Correct? Maharashtra. Right? Then Noida Software Park, Uttar Pradesh. I'll write UP. Uttar Pradesh. And Kochi Port, that is located in Kerala. Isn't it? Now we can locate it. So here you see, let's come back to the same map. They are set on the same map, right? All right. So let's see here. So first one, we will locate what? We will locate as first, what was it? Odisha, right? Yeah, Hirakud Dam. So Hirakud Dam will be somewhere over here. This is Hirakud Dam. Correct. Hira Hirakud Dam. Okay. All right. First one. What is the question number? A. Okay. This is A. All right. Now, next one. Tarapur Atomic Power Station. I'll reduce the ink. All right. Tarapur Atomic Power Station, Maharashtra. Right. So we'll come back in Maharashtra here. Okay. Look over here. So basically, it will be near to Dandi only. So you can say here. This is my Tarapur Atomic Power Station. Okay, this is B. Alright, now let's see the next one. Next is Noida Software Technology Park. It's in UP. Correct. We will go up now northwards. So this will be here, right? Huh. This will be my Noida Park, isn't it? Noida, where in UP? C. Alright. Next one, Kochi Port, Kerala. Move towards south. Somewhere around here is Kochi Port. This is Kochi Port. Option number C, right? Huh. No, D. Already. So we have located all of these things. Okay, I've given a map over, but it's no use now. So yes, students, then we have completed with today's session. And thank you so much for attending it, isn't it? We completed the full sample paper of a social studies. I'm fully prepared for social studies, isn't it? I'll be uploading the same file in the description. Also, you can check the answers, all my annotations. Make sure you like this video. As I said, share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you didn't do it till now. I'll be seeing you very soon in my next upcoming videos. Make sure to check the math sample paper also. And with this, we have completed today. I'll be seeing you soon. Till then, take